So today we're diving into a really powerful sermon from Pastor Jericho Nether, or Pastor J as he's known. It's called Let Me See Your Glory, and it unpacks one of the most desperate, raw prayers in all of history. It's really a cry for something real in a world that feels increasingly fake, and, well, you'll see just how much that still speaks to us today. Pastor J kicks things off with this quote, and man, does it hit home. He's basically saying that underneath everything, all our busyness, all our distractions, there's this deep, nagging hunger for something with real substance. And this feeling, this spiritual emptiness, that's the real starting point for this whole story.
All right, let's get into the background here. Because to really get this prayer, you have to understand the absolute catastrophe that sparked it. This wasn't a request made during a quiet time of worship. No, this was a desperate cry from the middle of a total disaster.
So picture this. The scene is just pure chaos. Moses is up on a mountain, literally getting the law from God, but down in the camp, the people he just rescued from slavery, they're freaking out. And that fear quickly boils over into rebellion. And what do? They build a golden calf, an idol, something tangible they can see and, more importantly, control. In that one moment, everything shatters. It all boils down to this fundamental choice. On one side, you've got the golden calf. It's visible, it's manageable, and it's completely empty. On the other side, the presence of God, invisible, untamable, and infinitely real. They chose the fake, manageable reality, and the consequence was just devastating. God basically threatens to pull his presence away from them, saying, you can have the promised land, but you don't get me. It's like offering a religion with none of the relationship. And it's right here, in the middle of this crisis, this threat of a future without God's actual presence, that we get to the heart of our story. It comes in a simple but unbelievably profound plea from their broken leader, Moses. Now, you have to understand, this is not a casual request. This is a gut punch moment for Moses. He realizes that the promised land without God is just a piece of dirt. The covenant without God's presence is just a couple of broken stone tablets. He is absolutely desperate, not for what God can give him, but for God himself. And this right here is the key to the whole thing. The Hebrew word that gets translated as glory is kabod, and it literally means weight, substance, or heaviness. I mean, just think about that for a second. After the people created this light, hollow, fake golden calf, Moses is on his face begging to see and experience what is truly heavy, what is substantial, what is real. He's pleading for reality itself. So how does God answer this incredible plea? Well, it's fascinating. It's both a yes and a very, very protective no. And it reveals something deep about the nature of God and about us. But see, there was a huge problem. As Pastor J puts it, the raw, unfiltered reality of God, his full weight, is so holy, so pure, that it would literally be lethal for a sinful human being to experience head-on. The analogy he uses is intense. It'd be like trying to stand at ground zero of a nuclear blast. You just wouldn't survive it. But here's the beautiful part. Instead of just saying, no, you can't handle it, God creates a way. This is pure grace in action. He finds a safe space for Moses, tucks him into an opening in a rock, and then, get this, covers him with his own hand as he passes by. He makes a way for Moses to get a glimpse of reality without being completely destroyed by it. So Moses gets to see God's back, the after effects, the lingering trail of his glory. But this glimpse isn't the end of the story. It's a divine cliffhanger. It's designed to create an even deeper hunger for the full picture. It's like a giant to be continued sign pointing to a future where the answer would be complete.
So if Sinai was the cliffhanger, where do we find the final chapter? Well, this is the core argument of the sermon. The ultimate answer to Moses' desperate prayer isn't found on an ancient mountain, but in the person of Jesus Christ. And here it is. This is the big reveal. The weighty reality, that kabod that Moses was dying to see, was finally made touchable, visible, and accessible in the person of Jesus. In him, the invisible God became visible. The prayer that got a partial yes on that mountain finds its full, unqualified yes right here. And when you put these two experiences side by side, the difference is just staggering. The glory Moses saw was incredible, but it was temporary. It was literally fading away, so much so that he had to wear a veil. But the glory we see in Jesus, the Bible says it's lasting, it's eternal, and it's one that actually changes us from the inside out. We get to approach it with an unveiled face.
Okay, so this is where Pastor Jay brings this whole ancient story right into our living rooms, right into 2025. The point is, while we probably aren't melting down our jewelry to build a literal golden calf, we are masters at creating our own modern idols, our own substitutes for the weighty reality of God.
I mean, just think about it. The perfect, curated self we project on social media, the security we try to find in our stuff and materialism, the way we sacrifice our attention and real relationships to the algorithm, even a version of faith that's all about comfort and avoids anything hard or sacrificial. These are our golden calves. They are the light, hollow, easy things we choose over the heavy, demanding, but ultimately real presence of God. And so, the sermon just leaves us with this one piercing question. It forces every one of us to look in the mirror and face the exact same choice the Israelites had at the bottom of that mountain. In this world of fakes, what are we really chasing? Are we settling for the easy, manageable idols? Or are we, like Moses, becoming desperate for the only thing that is truly real?
And that's our look into the sermon, Let Me See Your Glory. If this got you thinking and you want to hear more from Pastor Jay, you can find Believers Faith worldwide all over social media: TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud. And you can email them directly at believersonefaith@gmail.com. Thanks so much for watching.